Uh,
Afterwards, we'll have public comment in support or opposition to. At that time, please state your name and address for the record and be brief and to the point within a 3-minute time frame. Following that, commission and staff will have their discussion, and then the commission will vote to recommend approval as presented, approval with condition, denial of the request, or to table the item. And there are no conditional use permit or zone change cases tonight, so nothing will be forwarded on to City Council. So on the agenda, we've got excusal of absences and approval of minutes. And then we have two preliminary plats on the consent agenda as well. First of which is for property on the west side of O'Day Road, and then the second is for right-of-way dedication for property off of the Beltway. Then there are two items on new business. One is a replat for property off of Wilkie Road, and the second is a replat for commercial property off of Magnolia and Manville Road in the southwest quadrant. With that, Chair, I'll pass back to you.
Okay, can I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda?
Commissioner Hendricks, I make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Dugas, I second.
Okay, anybody want to discuss anything? All right, call for the vote. All in favor, show by raising your right hand. Approved 4-0. All right. That brings us, items removed from the consent agenda were none, brings us to new business. So that brings us to consideration and possible action for plat 22-140, replat of J.C. Rodriguez subdivision. Legal description or general, a request by Don Eccles of ProServe, the applicant on behalf of Mario Jonathan Marino, owner, for approval of a partial replat of J.C. Rodriguez Estates subdivision, splitting one lot into two lots on 1 acre, described. General location 13025 Wilk Road, Pearland, Texas. Staff report.
Thank you, Chair. So as mentioned, this is splitting one lot into two. It is within the R1 zoning district, as you can see on the map here. And then the areas within the suburban residential future land use category. You can see the original property where it was in its configuration as a single lot. This proposed configuration splits it down the middle essentially to create two lots. And it meets all of the criteria for approval in order to create this replat. And staff recommends approval.
Applicant presentation. Ma'am, go to the podium, please.
You're just here for questions. She's the applicant, so.
Okay, all right. No, just sit down.
Save you the long trip.
Okay, persons wishing to speak for or against? Seeing none, hearing none. Second time for or against this application. Third time for or against. All right, being none, that opens it up to commission, so. I didn't get a motion to begin with.
I was about to say, I don't recall there being a motion in a second. I was looking at this and I was just
Yeah.
wondering.
Well, you're slipping.
I am, and I apologize for that.
All right. Somebody give me a motion in a second, then we'll go right to the vote.
Commissioner Hendricks, I make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Kuhn, I'll second that motion.
All right, being that we don't have any discussion on it, call for the vote. Everybody in favor, show by raising your right hand. Motion carries 4-0. That brings us to our second item, consideration and possible action. Plat 23-130, replat of Magnolia Commons and Extensions. A request by Sean
Rattery.
Ratry, CTC Residential LLC, applicant on behalf of Signature Eubanks and Associates, LTD in Magnolia, 8.716 acres. Owner for approval of replat of Magnolia Commons and Extension, creating 3 lots and 2 reserves on 22.63 acres of land located at the corner of Manville Road and Magnolia Parkway. General location, southwest quadrant of Magnolia Parkway and Manville Road. Can I have a motion for approval?
Commissioner Hendricks, I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Kuhn, I'll second that motion.
All right. Can I have staff report?
Thank you, Chair. So this is a planned development. It's located on 22 and just over a half acres, 22.628 acres. This replat is creating 3 lots and 2 reserves. And we'll go through some of the facts about the property. So you'll see here its general location and the fact that it does have a planned development to it. If you recall, this is for a multifamily development on a portion of the lot, and then some commercial flex space and other out parcels. This has a variety of future land use categories, with the major node there at the corners, and then medium density residential, followed by some low density residential as well. So this is the minor plat, or the previously existing minor plat that included the Lot 2. This Lot 2 is being included in the adjacent properties to the west and absorbed and then parceled out for the additional developments. As you can see here, this is where we're getting the pocket park. That was a condition of the PD. This is the multifamily lot. There is a detention reserve that occupies the bottom portion adjacent to the creek, and then the 2 commercial out parcels closer to where the major node identifies. This does meet the criteria for approval, and staff does recommend approval based on that criteria. That's back to you.
Is the applicant present?
I spoke with the applicant this afternoon, and based off of the weather, they said that they would not be here, but if you've got any questions, I'm well versed on this.
Okay, anyone wishing to speak for or against this item? Anyone wishing to speak for or against this item? Second time? Third time? Seeing none? Turn it over to the commission for questions.
So I think that we've seen this project a few times, the plan unit development, and pretty familiar with it. So I'm in support of it.
All right, I think that, anybody else? All right, well, let's call for the vote. Everybody, Everybody in favor, raise your right hand. Carries 4-0. All right. Discussion items, city council updates.
So the one item that we have to update on from City Council, if y'all recall, back in mid-December, y'all heard a conditional use permit for a certain city manager's residence. The City Council did vote to recommend approval of that residence to be built within the Old Town mixed-use zoning district, and they went with y'all's recommendation on that. So other than that, I believe that's the only thing that we've recently had.
Commissioner's activity report. Anybody got anything? Next P&Z meeting is going to be February the 5th, 2024. So let me see what my duck says.
You'll actually have a joint meeting next Monday for a plan development workshop. Correct. This wasn't, your next regular meeting is February 5th, but y'all have a workshop with the City Council for a proposed plan development next Monday. I believe it was. I will check and make sure that it is on y'all's calendar, but good.
All right. Well, being that will adjourn at 6:42. It's a record.